Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the One Shitty Family Podcast. I'm your host, this week's Herder. Let's start things off as Pokemon Puzzle Week has been added to the N64 lineup on the NSO expansion pack. This was announced last week. So we were originally supposed to record this episode, but due to technical difficulties, we had to push it off. But hopefully things will actually behave. But we got another Pokemon signed game on NSO after Pokemon Snap got added to the service as well, which is really neat. I still need to play both of them. Even though I started playing Fire Red earlier this week. Go me. But anyway,
Nice.
I'm almost done with the main story of Fire Red, though, which is kind of surprising. I don't think I've played Kanto this quickly, to be honest, like, outside of Let's Go. But anyway.
I still have yet to play a Kanto game.
Wait, ever?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've never played Gen 1. I've never played Fire Red Leaf Green. I've never played Let's Go. The only Kanto thing I've played is the post game in Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Go change that. Oh my
Does
god.
that count though?
Not really.
Yeah,
Damn.
honestly, I think Let's Go probably should be the easiest one to recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna buy Let's Go.
That's fair, though.
There's Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm gonna play any Kanto game, I would probably play the remakes.
Yeah, I recommend that too over the
I mean, you can do
originals,
that.
to be quite honestly.
I mean, you can do that for free, honey, so.
I can, yeah.
Alright. But anyway, moving past that, as I think it was either last week or the week before, Masters is doing a collaboration with the anime, and Ash is in the freaking game. I still can't wrap my head around that. Like,
Ash is officially in a game.
I mean, granted, this is not technically the first time that we've seen some kind of tie-in with the anime, like with actually Pokemon Yellow, for example, and as well as Puzzle Week itself, which is basically set in the anime universe. This is such an interesting game, as it's actually one of only either the only or one of only a few Pokemon games that actually never released in Japan, even though it has fully,
Wait, which one?
even though it has cutscenes that look like they came straight out of the anime, which is so
Wait,
weird.
wait, which are you talking about?
I'm talking about Puzzle Week.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's so weird.
I mean, is it possible that they sort of ripped scenes from the anime and just stuck them in the game?
I don't know. Like,
Probably.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
games
I
tend to
don't
do
know.
that.
I don't know.
But also, you forgot another anime tie-in, Kyle.
What?
Think back to the
Oh,
swimming demo.
oh, yeah.
What?
Ash Greninja.
Oh. The way my face frowned hearing that. If you guys
Fanfic
could
Frog,
see it.
we rise up. How to annoy Honey 101. Say Fanfic Frog.
The shade.
Also, does Dusk Lycanroc count as anime tie-in,
I don't.
or was that the anime tie-in to some? Because I'm not entirely sure.
I don't think Dusk Lycanroc was an anime tie-in, because that was announced well before Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out,
Yeah, I think so too.
and I think
Yeah, I
Ash got
believe so
his
too.
Lycanroc after Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out. So I think that it was just more of a way to just promote Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon instead of being the tie-in.
Okay, yeah, because I wasn't entirely sure, because I remember Ash getting Dusk Lycanroc around the same time Ultra Moon came out, I think. Or was it around the same time Dusk Lycanroc was announced? Actually, I'm genuinely not sure. But the fact is,
Yeah, they came. Yeah, both events happened in a very short time window. I know that. I just don't remember
Yeah.
when it both happened, though. Because I do remember, actually, the announcement of Dust and Lycanroc, I believe, was actually the first thing that was announced after the initial reveal for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were announced in June of 2017, and we didn't get another trailer for those games until August. That was when Dust Rock was revealed.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
And I believe that was actually the only thing that was revealed in that trailer.
Huh. Alright.
I don't know how the hell I remember that, but I just do.
Hmm.
I mean, then again, Dusk is my favorite form of Viking Rock, so there you go.
Same.
Yeah, I've always liked Midnight. Like, I don't know what it is, because
I
I'm not
like
like...
it too.
Yeah, I'm not usually like an edgy person, but I've always just really liked the design of Midnight Lycanroc.
I think
And
Gladion's one just made me like it even more.
Oh, all three of them are amazing, though. That's the thing.
I
I
think
agree.
Yeah.
like all three are great, but like Midnight was my favorite. Like when they announced Lycanroc, and that never
Same.
really changed.
Same.
That never really changed for me.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Same here.
Yeah.
I remember when I first used Lycanroc, I believe it was the Moon, and I used Midnight first. And then when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out, I used Dusk, and then it didn't take until late 2021 when I finally used Midday for the first time.
I don't think I've used Midday.
I feel like it's probably the most basic of the three.
Yeah, I've only used Dusk and Midnight.
It's the same here.
Yeah.
Although
So when is that Dawn Lycanroc coming out?
Seriously, I remember the memes for that when God, those were hilarious.
Yeah.
Like it would have made sense for a Dawn Lycanroc to happen though, because you could have one exclusive to Ultra Sun and another exclusive to Ultra Moon. But
Right,
they didn't
exactly.
do that. And also the time window to get Dust Lycanroc in Ultra Sun Ultra Moon was stupid, especially for Ultra Moon players. Like, my condolences to those who are trying to use Dust Lycanroc in Ultra Moon.
Wait,
Yeah, I
what,
hated it.
what was the time window?
I believe it was 4 to 6 p.m. if I remember correctly. But because Sun and Moon were 12 hours apart, in reality, those that were playing Ultra Moon, if they wanted to get Dust Lycanroc, they'd have to have the game open at between 4 and 6 a.m. I actually don't remember the exact window, but I do remember it was extremely early in the morning, so I would not be surprised if a lot of people just changed the clock under 3DS so that they don't have to wake up super early just to get this one form in the game.
I mean,
So I know I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
No.
I mean, like I had Ultra Sun, but I still just changed the time in the game anyway because I was not a patient person.
That reminds me, it's so weird how in BDSP when you try to change the clock, like it locks some events for some reason.
Yeah.
Like
I did that in the original Down in Pearl Platinum.
did it?
Oh
yeah,
it
Yeah,
did.
I think so. They did that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, because
Why didn't they change that? That's so annoying.
they
Beats me.
because they quite literally copy and pasted most of the code from Down in Pearl Platinum.
Basically.
Oh yeah, but they changed some things.
Come on.
Yes, but like the reason why the game is so easy to make mods for is because people have already made the mods for Gen 4, but and most of the code is from Gen 4. And it's so broken because it's like DS code on the Switch, I think.
I just wish they changed it.
Yeah.
hmm
But there are already a couple of ROM hacks of BDSP. Like, some were already out, like, a couple weeks after the game originally came out, which is funny.
Yeah. Like,
Well, at least I finally finished it again.
Oh, yeah.
Hooray. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
And I actually...
Was Cynthia still just as hard as ever, honey?
What was that?
Was Cynthia just as hard as ever?
Cynthia?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I still struggled a bit with Cynthia, but I won in a cheesy kind of way
Oh god,
for
I love
Cynthia.
this.
So I sent first I sent out Gastrodon against Garchomp, and no, what I did first was I sent out Frostlass and I set up Hail so that Garchomp could miss because my Frostlass has what's the ability
Snowcloaks?
Oh,
called?
Snowcloak.
Slowpoke.
Cloak, yeah. So I just wanted to set up Hail, and she did miss. She missed an Earthquake, and
Let's go.
I landed an Ice Beam, but it only did half because of the berry.
Yeah, the Yacht.
The Yacht
And
one.
then I sent in Gastrodon because I think after that, she killed Frostlass anyway. Because why on earth would you miss twice? Even though I set up Snowcloak Hail anyway.
It happens, honey.
Yeah. So then I sent out Gastrodon to do more damage before Gastrodon went down, and then I just had a big brain moment for no reason. I sent
Oh.
out my Gardevoir who has Trace, and Gardevoir was already at red health, and so was Garchomp. Garchomp was already at red health, and Gardevoir has Trace. So I knew that when I sent her out, she would kill me, and she would copy Garchomp's ability, and Garchomp would go down too.
Yeah, Rushkin.
Rough skin, yeah.
That was funny as heck.
Yeah.
You gotta do.
Yep.
Yeah, like none of my Pokemon would outspeed her anyway. I figured why not.
I mean, that's kind of a
That's-
big brain strat, though.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that was.
it was a cheesy strat.
Mhm.
The last time I played BDSP, I used my Bronzong. I used my Levitate Bronzong against her, which completely walls Garchomp, by the way.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Never underestimate Bronzong, especially a Levitate one.
Yeah, like only 2 of her moves can actually damage me.
One.
I mean, 1, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh
And even that move, I resist.
yeah, because it's Dragon Rush, right?
Dragon Claw.
Dragon Claw.
Dragon Claw.
It's.
But
I think it's Rush in Gen 4, but they changed it.
yeah, it was
Yeah, it's-
Dragon Rush in Gen 4.
Or am I thinking of Platinum?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're thinking of Platinum.
Yeah, because they changed it to Dragon Claw. I think that's more accurate. Plus, it already had short dance, so it'd just be stronger than Dragon Rush after one name anyway.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I know for the rematches, before and Cynthia used their Platinum teams. Okay.
Yeah, I mean-
it is Dragon Claw in BDSP. For
Yeah, it is. I just played it. I would know.
I legit just did not remember because I did not do.
It's okay.
I didn't do the final rematch yet, but I actually did. I actually did finally catch some more legendaries in Reminisce Park. Well, just one actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually I just caught Ho-Oh last night, and turns out the legendaries in Reminisce Park are divided between minor and major legendaries, and they get different battle themes. So I finally got to listen to the major Reminisce legendary battle theme for the first time when I fought Ho-Oh, and it has a very similar melody to the minor version, except a lot more grand.
Oh, okay.
So now I can say I think I've listened to the entire BDSP soundtrack now.
I don't think I have because I haven't listened to the major legendary theme, and I don't think I've heard Giratina's theme yet.
Go listen to it; it's amazing.
I want to actually listen to it in game.
Okay, that's fair because that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
Because like it hits different when you hear it in game for the first time instead of listening on
Yeah.
like YouTube. Because
Yeah.
like, where's the fun in listening to it on like YouTube instead of listening to it while playing the game for the first
I,
time?
s- still wish that we got some kind of distortion world thingy.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would have been dope.
Like they could have easily added something in a post game.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Agree. I
Obviously,
agree.
the distortion world didn't exist in Diamond and Pearl,
Yeah, I know that.
even though it was actually
Shame.
even though it was referenced in Giratina Dex entry.
I mean, they made the room. You might as well just do the whole thing.
Yeah, that is true. I bet the distortion
Yeah.
room that we do have in the game looks pretty epic.
Yeah, I still need to see it.
Good luck to getting those shards.
How many do you need?
It's the same cost as all the other stuff. So
Okay.
either 3 small shards or 1 large one.
Okay.
And I believe after you catch a certain amount of minor mercenaries, you can start getting the slates for the major ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that whether that's right or not, but I sort of just started hunting for shiny registeel and just didn't move on.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh
And
yeah, I
then you
remember
gave
that
up.
too.
Yeah, I got like 35 encounters before I realized, oh, sort of resetting on the Switch is really slow. This is really boring.
Imagine me when I was trying to reset for shiny Chimchar and BDSP.
Yeah, I know that sounds awful.
Yeah, that's
You have
awesome.
to like resetting takes so long.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes per encounter.
Yeah. You're like,
'Cause you
at
gotta
least
wait
I
for-
get to listen to the lake theme, but it's so
at what cost?
tedious.
Because like you gotta wait for the game to open and then mash through several bits of dialogue and then finally get the encounters. It's just no.
Yeah,
thank
and
you.
it's even kind of slow when you even have it on fast dialogue.
Yeah, exactly.
On fast text, I mean.
Exactly.
I wish there were options to just skip.
Just skip interactions.
Why did I have a brain fart?
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah, to skip cutscenes. I mean.
Or at least have the dialogue show up instantly instead of the typing speed.
I can get why they don't, because I guess some people want to read the dialogue. I do at first, but not every time, of course.
Yeah.
Like I really
I
only
know-
I really only pay attention to the dialogue if I'm like playing the game for the first time, or if I ever want to like record the game or stream it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if I'm replaying a game, then I don't wanna read the dialogue. Unless I'm replaying it for like from years.
Yeah,
Since years, I mean.
or if you're just trying to pay attention to things that you missed the first time around.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the case with me right now while I'm playing Fire Emblem Green, because, like I said, I have very little memory of my first ever playthrough of the game, so I pay a little bit more attention, even though I played Gen 1 last year. So,
Yeah,
So-
I think that was the same case for me when I replayed White 2.
yeah, that's fair. It's really the Sevi Isles stuff that I'm paying more attention to, because even though the Sevi Isles on its own is very forgettable, there might have been some stuff
Really?
that
I thought that was the most memorable part of the Gen 1 remakes.
I mean, yeah,
Wasn't
it was,
it?
I mean, yeah, it was a pretty substantial addition, but there are a ton of locations that I still forget about. Like
That's fair.
there's this one cave in the later half of the Sevi Isles called Dotted Hole, and how much you want to bet that?
What?
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's an actual location in the Sevi Isles called Dotted Hole. I don't remember exactly what's even in there.
Oh,
But what's
I don't
weird
think
is,
I've ever heard of that actually.
like, the routes themselves don't have actual numbers. They all have very unique names, actually. And the towns themselves are available from, like, 1 island, 2 island, 3 island, and whatnot.
Well, I'm glad for that, because At least it's not called Galarmine number 1 and Galarmine number 2.
We
Like
got
seriously,
those-
Do
why
not-
were they so lazy on the names?
Do
we
not
love those Galar mines.
do not shit on Galarmine number 2 because that's where you get
Pogunk's in
through 'em.
there.
Exactly.
Okay, but they should have given it a better name at least. Like, what?
Yeah,
That's so
names
silly,
kinda-
though.
Galarmine number 1, Galarmine number 2.
Like when you have, it's so stupid because when you, because like in Fire Emblem Leaf Green, the route that leads up to Mount Ember is called Kindle Road, and that is such a creative name.
Yeah, you see stuff like that. Where is that creativity?
Instead, we got Galar mine number 1, Galar mine number 2.
Or I wish if they wanted to number them, at least interconnect them so that you can visit both without having to go to different parts of Galar.
Yeah, like they had good names for like I believe
For the
so.
rest of Galar.
From for the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra especially. Like, it's not impossible for them to rename it something else other than Galarmine number 1 and 2.
Yeah, exactly. Why are we going on
I
this
don't
rant?
get it.
I will never get over that.
Because I remember, I don't know why, I just remember it being so dumb.
It is dumb though. That is very true.
Yeah.
I mean, Fire Emblem Seven Islands had creative route names, but at the cost of boring town names.
I don't remember.
Like I said, the
I
town
was-
names are just the numbers of the islands.
Oh yeah.
Because
What island to it?
yeah, the town on the first island is literally just called one island,
Oh.
and there are 7 islands,
So 1 island, 2 island, 3 island, is it all just that?
and you only get to visit the first,
7.
and you only get to visit the first 3 islands before you become champion.
Yep. The other
Oh.
4 are just event only. I hate it.
Yeah, the
Right,
yeah,
right.
The last 4 is post game, and you gotta go through the rest of the 7 islands to enable connectivity with Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The
I hated
seven.
it back then.
Yeah, I have never been to these 7 islands. They sound boring, and
Well,
It's not all bad.
yeah, I mean, they sound fun in ideas.
I mean,
Just
absolutely,
don't like.
especially
Just don't like that you don't get to explore that much with them.
especially before you become champion. The first 3 islands are so small.
If only they
Yeah.
allowed you to visit more islands before you become champion.
yeah,
but then
Yeah,
again,
I
islands 4 through 7 have Pokemon outside of the Kanto Dex. That's really the main draw of the last 4.
Yeah, heaven forbid we get Pokemon outside the Kanto Dex.
Yeah, that restriction was so dumb in Fire Emblem Green. Like the fact that I can't use Crobat before I get my national Dex is so stupid.
You can't use Crobat?
Yeah,
No.
no,
You have to get the national dex before that, and you have to capture. Was it like 60 Pokemon before you have access to the national dex, right?
I don't know.
Let me check.
Because I know I have like over 70 Pokemon registered in my Dex because I was trying to get the rewards from Professor Oak's aids for stuff like the Ambient Coin and the Experience Share. And also, funny enough, while I was exploring Mount Ember, I actually got up to Moltres. So I'm like, should I do it now? And then I was like, screw it, I'll do it now. And I got the first ball.
Okay, you have to
Okay, go.
catch at least.
oh yeah, they moved Moltres from Victory Road at Etman Ember, didn't they?
Yeah, they
Or
did.
wait, no.
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
They
okay, yeah.
did.
Yeah, it's a much more fitting location too, because it's literally a volcano.
Okay, listen to this. You have to catch at least 60 different Pokemon and have beaten the Elite Four. And
Oh.
then you have access to the national decks. Oh,
Oh.
you have to talk to Professor Oak too.
Oh, that's not too bad actually.
That's not too bad.
That's not
from
terrible,
what
actually.
It sounds like, yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like 70 or 80 Pokemon, but 60? That's actually manageable.
It's so weird to hear that you can't use Crobat until National Dex.
Yeah, you can't use Crobat, you can't use Espeon or Umbreon.
But in Heart Gold you can use Mamoswine, right? Right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
But you can't use Crobat in Fire Legend.
No, for some reason they locked everything that wasn't in the original 151 to post game.
it's so
For
dumb.
Big bro moment.
So that just
What
makes
the
some.
actual heck?
So it just makes so difficult to recommend some Pokemon that got evolutions after Gen 1, like Scyther or Golbat.
Yeah. And I really like Crobat.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
love Crobat. I
Yeah.
love Scizor too.
Yeah, I actually used
Yeah.
Scizor. I actually used Scizor for the first time in Gold, and it was pretty good. Despite the
I need to replay Gold.
Yeah,
Yep.
I kind of immediately moved on from Gold to Fire Red. It was because I was doing so many other Gen 2 playthroughs around that time that I was getting kind of burnt out of Gen 2. That's kind of why I wanted to move on to Gen 3.
Fair.
Like, I've kind of found some newfound appreciation for Gen 2. Like, I still have a grip with it, especially with the level curve, but like, it's still a pretty darn good game, all things considered.
Yeah, I need to replay it because considering that was my first game, I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, that's kind of
Mine was Crystal.
that was kind of me with Fire Red, and the main reason why I wanted to replay it.
Yeah.
And I've kind of been enjoying it a lot, actually.
Noise.
And the team I have so far has just been excellent. And this was actually the first time I used a grass type starter in this playthrough.
I still won't understand how you never have used a grass starter in your life.
I know. Like I was
Like
gonna
freaking Trico is there, Turtwig is there, Bulbasaur is there, Snivy's there,
I mean, at least
Grookey's there,
I actually did choose Bulbasaur.
Rowlet is there.
Like
But he didn't use any of them, honey.
okay, but the thing
What
is,
the actual heck, Kyle?
I've used some grass starters in past playthroughs, but never actually chose one.
L plus ratio.
Excuse me?
Catch this ratio, Kyle.
Oh my god! All three of you have ratioed me today.
I'm just joking.
But yeah, the team that I have so far is actually I could just turn on my GPAs right now. Up. The downside of playing on an actual cartridge is so old that it sometimes doesn't be read from the first try.
Well, that says a lot.
I mean, this is the same copy that I bought back in like 2006 or so.
Oh my god.
AKA 16 years ago.
Yep. I still remember.
Yeah.
I still don't remember the events of when I actually bought it because I was out with my dad one night. We were at GameStop and I immediately booked it to the front counter with all of the used games, and I immediately saw the cartridge for Fire Red, and I'm like, oh my god, I want that! I want that!
Yeah, I just begged my dad for all Pokemon games because I was a brat.
All right, so
Yeah.
So far my team in Fire Red is 2-Up the Venusaur, Voltage the Raichu, Prophecy the Alakazam, Shaggy the Flareon, Tidal the Gyarados, and Raider the Aerodactyl.
Nice.
I'm very proud of this team, actually. A lot of these Pokemon I'm using for the very first time, and I've been very impressed with pretty much all of them.
That's a great team.
Like, Flareon has been the biggest surprise for me. Like, a lot of people trash on it for no reason.
Really?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
a lot of people have labeled
People
Flareon
love
as
to
the
shit
worst
on
evolution.
Flareon.
I love all the evolutions.
I
Yeah,
love
so
them.
do I.
I love them all too.
Me
I can never trash any of them.
Like, I think the main thing that gets Flareon a lot of flack is usability. especially prior to Gen 4.
Well, yeah, but who cares about that?
Because, like, Flareon has... it does not have as high of a special attack, so... But, like, it's still relatively good. And, like,
Yeah.
it still has a very high attack stat and gets plenty of physical moves via level up in TM. It's like the only stab move I have on it is Flamethrower, and the other moves are Dig, Shadow Ball, and Quick Attack. And it was Flareon that single-handedly swept Sabrina for me.
We stand.
Nice.
It's mostly thanks to the fact that Ghost was still physical prior to Diamond and Pearl. You combine that with
Yeah, exactly.
with Flareon's high attack stat, and the fact that it's got really good special defense, and the fact that Sabrina's Pokemon have low defenses in general. Yeah, that's gonna set up for a really good Flareon sweep.
Yeah.
But the only semi-challenging battle I've had so far in this playthrough was against Blaine, actually. And even then, it was not that difficult. Like my Flareon almost went down to Arcanine because I was trying to use Dig because of Intimidate, but Flareon actually did survive a takedown, which gave me some opportunity to switch to Aerodactyl and get me the win.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Anyway,
I love this
wait,
gif.
whoops! I meant to put it on the non-voice channel. Whoops.
I mean, either way,
Oh,
spin it
no.
around.
I'm spinning around.
You spin me right round, baby, round, round.
Exactly, I was thinking that too.
All I go is destiny.
Oh boy. I love Flareon though. It's so cute.
Me too.
It's so fluffy.
Fluffy.
I'd hug one.
I named him Fluffy for a good reason,
Nice.
actually.
I mean, I named mine Shaggy, so...
Nice.
Alright. So, moving on from that, as I go searching for my trainer card, because there's something I wanted to talk about originally when we were talking about our favorite Pokemon of every type, but because that discussion took so long, we didn't have time for it. I was thinking about discussing and making our own dream teams.
Nice.
Oh, I forgot.
Oops.
I have already made mine.
So how do we want to present these? Do we want to talk about them in voice chat order or what?
I mean, I don't have anything.
Oops.
Bruh.
It's been a busy day.
Fair.
I mean, that's fair. Though.
Yeah.
That is totally fair, though. Alright, I found my
Oh
trainer.
crap, wait.
So, who would like to go first with their dream teams? Or do you guys just want me to start first? Hello?
Hi. I don't want to go first, so you can do it.
Okay. I don't mind going first. Alright.
Okay.
And then once we're all done sharing our teams, we can then send them all into non-voice channel. Alright, so this is a team that I've been thinking about for a good while. I've actually used this in a couple of fan games, actually. So I'm already kind of familiar with the strengths and weaknesses of this team. But first things first is the ace of my team, which is of course Lulu, my Primarina. I mean, it's my favorite Pokemon, and I love having a water type on my team. It would just make
Of course.
I mean, water is my favorite type after all, so it's kind of a given at this point. Alright, next up is my Cantonian Rapidash, which I named Wildfire. I was debating between Cantonian and Galarian Rapidash, but I mainly settled on Cantonian, mostly because I already have actually two fairies, as we'll get to the other one in a moment. But I'd rather not have half of my team be composed of fairies. Like, that's a pretty big poison and steel weakness I'd have to worry about. And so I feel like having the Cantonian version of Rapidash would help a lot with coverage. And Rapidash itself also has pretty good coverage in itself, so one of the more reasons I want to use it. And that's another, and I'm also very biased. So there we go. Following that is my level 1 Ninetales, which I named Flurry. It's my personal favorite on level 1 form. Its type combo does make it very frail to steel, which is very unfortunate. But like, that's why I've got actually 2 Pokemon on the team to cover that weakness. But that's all really we're gonna say about Ninetales. It's just, again, another personal favorite of mine. Next up is Leafeon, which I named Maple. I've talked about this several times in the past, both in previous episodes of the podcast and in previous videos in general. Like, this is quickly shooting up as one of my favorite evolutions. It's probably tied with Glaceon for my favorite, honestly. I just love Leafeon so much. And it's actually a very capable Pokemon, too. I've used it a couple times in playthroughs before, and it's impressed me every single time. Following that is Flygon, which I named Finnegail. I just love Flygon so much. It helps immensely with coverage. And Flygon's just an underrated Pokemon. I just can't get enough of it. And lastly is Luxray, which I named Charger. Do I really need to explain why I like Luxray so much and want to use one?
It's cool.
It's just that good. Alright. So I'm gonna send my trainer card into the voice channel. Alright, so who would like to go next? Someone? Anyone?
Oh, sorry, I missed. Oh, that's a nice, very nice team, Kyle, you got there.
Thank you. And one last thing before we pass it on to someone else. Like I said, I did use this team, and mostly in fan games, because, well, there is actually, I think, one or actually a few Pokemon games where I could use these in the playthrough, but I did actually record a whole video surrounding this team, and I'm still in the process of making it, but hopefully I'll get back to making that soon, because it's something that I took a long time to make. But anyway, moving on. So, who would like to go next to present their dream team? Again, with the silence.
Crickets again.
I mean, do we just want to go in the order of the voice chat?
I mean, yeah, sure, I can go if you guys want to.
I mean, I've already presented mine, so it doesn't really matter who goes next. But yeah, I don't mind it if you went next, Sam.
Sure, I can go.
All right, cool.
So, how do we do? Do I, like,
You could just
show...
Or you could just talk about them in one go. And then when you're done, you could just send it over into a non-voice channel.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
Alright, when it comes to... What?
I forgot one last thing. Sorry to interrupt, Sam. Because there was something else that I had on the notes. And it's which trainer class would we identify ourselves as? But we'll worry about that after we're done talking about the dream teams.
Ah, okay. Alright, when it comes to, like, my ultimate dream team, I mean, I really struggled to really make mine as good as I possibly can. But I think I made mine. I actually made two,
Oh, okay.
but I'll talk about the primary one.
All right, let's hear it then.
Okay, so, I agree, honey. Anyway.
Sorry, I did not mean it as in you're boring. I'm just tired.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay, honey. I've yawned a lot of times on the mic, so you're not the only one. Anyway, so the first Pokemon team is my ace, and that is Diancie, aka my Mega Diancie.
Wouldn't have expected anything less.
Nope. I mean, it's my favorite Pokemon of all time, and why wouldn't that be not surprised for not putting it in there?
I mean, that's valid,
Exactly.
though.
But I really wish you could. I don't know why the game doesn't allow you to, like, nickname your mythicals or legendaries anymore. But apparently you can't do that.
Really? I don't recall such a restriction being a thing.
Yeah, it's stupid. I hate it. Yeah, Diancie is my ace. Mega Diancie is my ace, and it will eat thousands of Ash Greninjas any day for breakfast. Okay, take two. Anyway, yeah, that is like the first Pokemon. might as well move over to the second one. And that is Corviknight.
Yeah, Corviknight.
Now I really struggled with either Staraptor or Corviknight on this one. But I think I went with Corviknight more because of the fact that it's a steel type. It has the steel type as secondary typing. And like I like steel types more because it can like match of its defensive capability more than what Staraptor does. I mean, I love Staraptor, but like its typing is a bit generic. But
Yeah, Staraptor's type.
he's still out there. Yeah,
Staraptor's type is a
absolutely.
bit unoriginal.
But at least its moves pool makes up for it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's Corviknight for me. He's my birdie. Love him. So now let's go move over to the third Pokemon. And that is Weavile.
Weavile.
Let's go.
I needed like a fast, hard-hitting glass cannon in this case. And I felt like Weavile was the perfect mon for that.
Nice.
I mean, he's allergic to fighting types, which is the same, but like the unseen Corviknight and some other mons you will see will cover for him. So yeah, Weavile, he's my quote-unquote sweeper, I guess. Alright, fourth mon, Havlucha.
Ooh.
I thought for a second you said Honey Lucha.
Don't give... If Rose was here, don't give him this idea, honey.
That is totally something that Rose would say, though.
He would.
So true. Anyway,
Bruh, don't. Why?
no, there we go.
Well, at least, the benefits of me being an admin is I can do this.
Oh!
What the fuck, honey?
Oh! Wow!
That is so evil. Well, you know what I say to that?
Laurie, don't do it. Laurie.
Did you...
He's typing something.
No!
Yeah, let's go.
I hate you.
Let's go.
Wait, I can also delete this though. Yay.
Alright. Let's get back on track here.
Okay, I'm done. Done.
All right. Anyway, let's go. Let's go over to the. Was it the fourth member? Yeah, there was the fourth member, Halucha. So just like Weavile, I needed someone fast, and Halucha is kind of like my secondary flying types, just in case Corviknight, I don't know, goes down. So he can work. So, and he can also like cover for Weavile's weakness for those damn fighting types and those damn bug types.
So true.
Alright, fifth one. Did you say something, Kyle?
Oh, no, never mind.
Alright, fifth one. This one will surprise you, actually.
Oh?
Hisuian Typhlosion.
Ooh.
Yes.
My love for this mon has increased.
He's so based.
Yes. Remember when I said that those damn fighting types will annoy Weavile? Well, Typhlosion's ghost typing can now cover for it.
So true.
I guess Typhlosion
And it's like,
cool.
yeah, and I also kind of realized this team kind of lacks some special attackers, so I need at least one or two that can make that job.
I mean, Typhlosion can do that relatively well.
Yeah, so true. The only thing I don't like about Typhlosion is that minus speed 5, minus 5 in speed. It's so annoying, but you gotta live what it is, I guess. It doesn't bother me at all. But, All right, sixth member. Sixth member. This one will shock you, but I have a valid reason for it. That's Palpitoad.
Palpitoad.
Okay, let's hear him out.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, most of my team are weak to water, and by that I mean 2. But Palpitoad has water absorb, and he can hold the Aviolite.
Nice.
Ah, Evian White Palpitoad. Okay.
And he can be my quote-unquote staller, I guess. I mean, he gets Aqua Ring, which makes up for the lack of sustain. And
Honestly, Palpitoad is pretty cute.
he's so underrated. I'm
He
gonna say
is.
that right now.
Also, I'm just realizing that Top Palpitoad has a nice speed stat.
I mean, his speed stat isn't that terrible, actually. Let me see where I have. Okay, so that's team 1.
Alright. That's a good team,
Nice.
And now we go over to the reserves, I guess, quote unquote.
Alright.
I guess you could call it team 2.
Alright.
Okay, so Mega Diancie is my go-to ace and Mega, but in case I don't want to use it and might want some variation to it, then I can use Mega Gardevoir as my go-to ace.
Hey, nice.
Because that pixelate boost, those pixelate boosting hyper voice and hyper beams will sure kill everything. So that's reserve number 1. Next we go to reserve number 2, and that's Mimikyu. And it's interesting considering how much Amon is considered one of the weaker mons, yet it can be so deadly. If used correctly, of course.
Oh, yeah. Like, I remember, like, a little personal story, real quickly, because, I remember doing this little friendly tournament on Twitter back in, like, late 2020. I got to the finals, but then,
Was that the one Clara did?
Yes, it was. It was Clara's tournament.
I remember that. I lost in the first round.
Oh yeah, I remember you. You talking about that.
Yeah.
I got to the finals, and my opponent led with Mimikyu, and they set up and swept like half of my team. With Mimikyu.
Yeah, that was Skull. That was Skull. He swept me.
Yep.
And that's how I lost. He set
Yeah.
up with Mimikyu.
Yep.
Told you, don't underestimate this mon.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a prime example of how Mimikyu's done right.
Yeah. So Mimikyu is kind of like my reserve number 2. And that's nice.
Nice.
Alright, reserve. Yes, reserve number 3 is Glaceon.
Glaceon!
I figured, if I don't want to use Weavile, I could use Glaceon.
Glaceon is the best
one of my-
EV after all.
Beast.
I agree.
And also, speaking of Glaceon, it's coming to Pokemon Unite pretty soon. So there you go.
That's cool,
Wait, say that
I
again.
guess.
Ha, I see what you did there, Sam.
Anyway, moving on. So Glaceon is my third reserve.
Alright.
Okay, fourth reserve is Hydreigon.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like I said before, my team lacks a little bit of a special force. So I needed someone brutal. No pun intended.
I mean, it checks out, though.
Because his... Yeah, makes sense. Plus, Dark Dragon is amazing.
That's a stellar combo. Rip the fairy type,
I
though.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. But, I have Quick Knight or History and Typhlosion for that. Alright, so... Yeah, alright. Fifth reserve, Mamoswine.
Hey,
Nice.
Mamoswine.
if I don't want to use Weavile or Glaceon, Mamoswine is right there.
Nice.
Plus, I feel like Mamoswine has slightly better coverage than Glaceon and Weavile.
Yeah, that's fair.
And also because Ice Ground is, I mean, it's weak to everything and sucks defensively, but like offensively, it is a monster.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So that's the fifth one. Sixth one may surprise you, and that's Blaziken actually.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't believe me as a die-hardcore Sinnoh stan is actually betraying myself for not including none of the free Sinnoh stars. Which is a crime, I know. I should but nah, I love Blaziken, man.
I mean, Blaziken's
Blaziken
awesome
is
though.
awesome. Yeah.
Plus I love the fact that he gets speed boost and he still has the coverage for it.
And it's got a really
Yeah.
cool
Just
mega
slap-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I prefer the regular one more than its mega.
That's fair though.
That's fair.
That's
I like
a
how
little
you
bit.
have. I like how you have 2 members of May's team on your dream team.
Now that you mention it, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There we go.
Those are my reserves.
All right.
Yeah,
Nice.
putting on a dream team was a lot harder, to be honest, than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, I can understand.
But yeah, it's really, really hard to put them like each member if you really just want to have one consistent member on each 16.
Yeah, it makes
Like
sense.
it's impossible for me. That's why reserves are important.
Yeah, it makes
But
sense.
yeah, that's my team. Who wants to go next?
Well, I don't have mines, but theoretically, mine would be 6 Fennekins with the Battle Bond ability. Anyway.
In other words, Battle Bond, Hisui, and Fennekin. Sign me up for it.
Yes, please.
Wait. I got it. Battle Bond, Honey Fennekin. Great.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
the new
God.
anime format for Scarlet and Violet.
I love it already. Thanks.
Genius.
Thanks for leaking it.
No problem. Okay, but seriously though.
Yeah, I don't have mines.
I mean, do you
Oh.
want to take some time to think about it while we go to Lori?
I would, but I'm just lazy right now.
That's so
Same.
rude, though.
Big mood.
I mean, are there any
Um,
Pokemon that would immediately come to your mind?
I mean, Fennekin, of course.
Obviously.
Okay, aside from Fennekin.
I would definitely have Gallade, and I would probably have Weavile too.
A
I'm going to Weavile.
Gallade squad. Rise up.
Luxray for sure.
Luxray Twins.
Flygon.
Ooh, okay.
Flygon's a good pick.
How many is that? 4?
I believe that's 4 or 5.
Yeah, I said Fennekin, Gallade, Weavile, Luxray. Oh, Flygon. That's 5.
Okay, yeah, so we got 4.
Marshtomp. I mean, not Marshtomp. Swampert.
Hey, nice.
Swampert.
Oh, that
Let's
was
go.
quick.
Alright,
There you go.
congratulations. Made your dream team come true.
I made my dream team in like 1 minute.
You just
Alright.
did speed run. Nice.
Alright.
Gotta go fast.
Alright.
Wait. I can't believe I didn't include. Grimmsnarl. What is wrong with me? Ugh. Anyway,
Grimmsnar, let's go.
I mean, Grimmsnarl's really good too.
yeah,
Alright.
I would include Impidimp, but I feel like Grimmsnarl is way better.
That's fair though.
Yeah, I like Grimmsnark better too.
Yeah, I like Impidem better, but Grimmsnarl is definitely better in terms of power, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Also, side note, I really like Shiny Grimmsnarl.
Oh, I love Shiny Grimmsnarl. It's so good.
It's honestly one of the best shinies in all of Galar. Let's be real.
Yes.
You,
Harry,
you see?
Harry, you have one.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah.
how do you know?
You have a Shiny Grimmsnarl?
I, Harry, I gave it to you.
You did?
Yeah, do you not
I
remember?
don't remember that.
I traded you the shiny Impidem that I got in a raid.
Oh, that makes sense because I don't remember. I don't remember encountering one myself.
Oh my god.
I generally forgot. I'm sorry.
No, it's
Wow.
okay.
That's kind of funny, actually.
What the hell?
Happens to the best of us.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, they gave one of the best shinies to one of the best Pokemon. Yay!
So basically, Gardevoir. Nice.
No. Well, yes, Gardevoir has a great shiny, but I'm talking about Grimmsnarl.
Both are good.
Yeah.
Definitely. Alright. So, we can finally move on to Lori then.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go.
Ooh, I
Mega
love the
Diancie, you
nicknames.
are already based.
Thank you. Okay. So we've got Lavender. She is a shiny Serena, but there wasn't a shiny option on the trainer card, so yeah. She is just a she is just a girl boss, and she's perfect. So
I mean,
Yes.
we stand though.
So
Stand
she
those
gets
turbo.
so she gets to be my starter. And then you have Amethyst for obvious reasons. It's an Espeon. Demeter for obvious reasons. Sylveon, but also Sylveon as the perfect therapy. Oh my god, therapy Pokemon because it can calm you down and stuff.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah. Then you've got Meatball and Munchlax, who is adorable.
I love that name.
That's such a
Thank
cute
you.
name.
Yes,
Meatball.
yes. Then you have Mr. Azu, the trans Azumarill. He is I caught him in my Black 2 run ages ago, and because before Gen 8, I think before Gen 8, there's a glitch where Azuro can change genders upon evolving into Marill, and that happened. So he went from from female to male. So he is a trans Azumarill. Then you've got Cake, who is Liepard, who is perfect. Then you've got Krugunk. And then we've got Altaria, Nidoqueen, my two Sneasels, babies, and Megadante, because that is the closest thing Pokemon has to a magical girl.
Nice.
Very fitting.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, I love Altaria's nickname. Melody is absolutely perfect for it.
Yes.
Definitely.
All y'all teams
Yeah.
are so good.
Yeah. I have two teams because I just wasn't going to make one team. There was too many Pokemon.
That's fair though.
Also, how could you not have a team with Krogunk?
Exactly.
So true though. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
making a team that doesn't have your favorite Pokemon, then you're just doing it wrong.
What are you doing? Yeah, exactly.
And
We all have our biases.
and that's just not a fact. That's a rule.
So
I
true.
know, right?
But showing the world
So true.
showing the world that your favorite Pokemon can be great. And you know what? Good for you.
Yep.
After all, every Pokemon is going to be someone's favorite, and that's totally fine.
Exactly.
Why just over 900 of them? Like, come on. And that number's only going to climb when Scarlet and Violet comes out in November.
Yep. We need more news already.
Yep, I agree.
We are due.
Yeah, we are due.
So we can move on to the next part of this part, which is which trainer class would we identify ourselves as?
Peter.
Well, that was quick.
Yes. I've thought about this for years. I would not be a battler in the Pokemon universe. I would be a breeder because Brock mainly, but also just mainly because I can't imagine myself as a battler or a contest person, but I can imagine myself as a breeder mainly because I think Brock had like a very big influence on me growing up, so I sort of just became like Brock.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but can you cook and do you have like a million sisters and brothers?
No and no.
Damn.
I meant more Brock's whole thing where
I
he like
know.
to like be nice to like care for Pokemon and stuff. That
I know what you mean.
yeah.
So I guess we should probably go in reverse order of the voice chat then, since Lori went first. That would mean I'm next. So as for me, I've always seen myself as either a Pokemon Ranger or an Ace Trainer. I don't know, like the idea of being one of them just sounds cool to me. I feel like given the team that I have, I think Ace Trainer would probably suit me better. However, I feel like I'd definitely make myself work as a Pokemon Ranger. Plus, I consider how much I love Pokemon as a whole. If I were in a Pokemon world, I would definitely share a lot of love and just work my hardest to take care of them, while also being as good of a trainer as I possibly can be. So I'm done talking about my trainer class. So, honey, what would you identify yourself as?
I would probably either be a gym leader or a coordinator. I think I'm leaning more towards coordinator because I always love contests and watching them. I still do. I still prefer it much more than gym battles, especially in the anime. I can see myself kind of taking on a role similar to Licia, where she scouts coordinators and all. But I just thought of this. I guess I'd be kind of a Nando, where I do
Yeah.
where I do both gyms or contests. Yeah, because I do like both.
Nice.
Speaking of Nando, he should cameo for Ash versus Cynthia. Anyway, I'm done.
So true.
All
All
right.
right, so now it's me, I guess.
Yep.
I'm also probably wanna either be a gym leader or a coordinator, like with
Oh,
Hanli's.
Nice.
No.
We can be traveling companions.
Yeah, I'm. It's either those two. I can't make up my mind which one I'll be more.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
contests are so good in the anime.
absolutely.
Yep. Especially in the Diamond and Pearl anime.
Yeah, and in AG,
Ooh,
which you
yeah.
guys should definitely watch. Hint, hint. Wink, wink.
Not subtle at all.
Honey, funny fucking way.
Finish
Wait, what?
AG.
Wait, what did you say, Lori?
She told me to finish Black and White.
Oh yeah, you did start rewatching that like
Yeah,
last year or so.
I never finished it because of personal life things, and I never ended up.
Oh my god, you too.
Yeah.
I was also like on the verge of rewatching the BV anime. And then
Oh, you
I
did?
like put it yeah, and then I like put it on ice after the
Put it on ice.
No, that was not a poly. And then I put it on ice after the Iris and Excadrill episode, which by the way is about 2
I don't think
episodes.
I reached that far. I can't remember where I left off, to be honest.
Yeah, I probably should like pull
Actually,
my act
actually,
together
I
and
think
watch.
I left off on Ash versus Bird.
No, because we watched that. I think it was after Elisa.
Oh, really?
I think it was
I
around there, yeah.
I don't remember watching Ash versus Lisa.
Oh, that
No,
double
we
battle.
No, we didn't. But I think we're near there. I think
Oh,
I'm not entirely
Indeed.
sure. It could have been Berg. I'm not entirely sure.
I remember watching Bird with you.
All right. In that case, it was probably closer to Elisa. Then. All right.
Yeah.
I do remember when AG got added to Pokemon TV like many months ago. I started to watch it, but then I just got distracted and didn't get back to it.
Okay, guys, we should watch. We should definitely watch it
Absolutely.
Yeah, we should.
together. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
like on the weekends or something.
I'm down for that.
Sure.
Yeah. No.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Like we can probably do it tomorrow if everyone's free.
Yeah. I'm always free. So.
I'll try to be there.
yeah, I can.
Okay.
I can try to be there as long as I don't take too long to edit this episode.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
I can definitely let you guys know. I should be done in time.
Cool.
Yeah, we can finalize plans after we're done recording though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So is that all?
Yeah, I think so.
Because we literally reached the end of the notes already.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Oh, I should probably also mention a few movies are gonna get theatrical reruns in Japan later this summer, and the ones that were chosen were results from an online poll to coincide with the 25th anniversary of Pokemon movies. So starting things off from August 11th through the 18th will be Pokemon Heroes. Following that, from the 18th to the 25th will be Jirachi Wishmaker. And finally, The Rise of Darkrai will conclude things from the 26th to September 1st.
Oh, nice. Those are all great Pokemon movies.
Yeah, and the anniversaries of Rise of Darkrai, Heroes, and Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea happened very recently too.
Yeah. Oh my god. I feel like Ranger and the Temple of the Sea has to be like my favorite Pokemon movie from Hoenn.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's honestly my favorite AG movie as well.
Yeah, it's either
I
that or Lucario
Yeah, mine's Lucario. Lucario.
Yeah, I have to say the Lucario one too. The Lucario one is just.
Oh, Lucario
But
the
I
Mystery Neo
always-
is amazing as well.
I always give edge to the Manaphy movie because Manaphy is adorable and her bond with May,
Oh,
It's
that
just
was
good.
so precious.
it
That
gets me
is-
every time.
Like
That
all,
is adorable.
all
I
of the
agree.
AG
Like,
movies are really fun, honestly.
Yeah, they're all good. Like even the Jirachi one was good.
Definitely.
I don't remember it being that good, to be honest.
Yeah, that one is good, but I'd say the others are better.
Be real, I kind of dislike Destiny Deoxys, to be honest. It's because I I kind of hated that kid.
Max?
Or,
Oh,
no.
Oh no,
Oh, the other.
yeah,
the
that
prototype Lily one.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the guy who is a prototype Lily.
Got
That
it,
works.
got it. Yeah, that's fair. I can see why.
I don't remember
And all-
that
and-
movie at all really, but I remember what that kid looked like.
And also because Rayquaza was done dirty in that fucking movie. Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
yeah, Rayquaza's role in Destiny Deoxys was weird.
Yeah.
That
What
okay, hear me
was
out.
it?
That moment when generations and mega evolutions Part 2 does Rayquaza more justice than his own fucking movie. It's insane.
What was Rayquaza's role in that movie? I haven't seen it in years.
The Destiny Deoxys one,
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't even fucking remember.
I think
Wow.
if memory serves me right, I believe it was just holding the grudge against the evil Deoxys, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's kind of poorly done, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
And then it gets his ass kicked by not only Deoxys, but a bunch by that cameo robo too.
By what?
I don't even remember. Was it that? It was the robot that controlled the entire region, right? That's my whole memory links when it comes to this whole movie.
Oh, are you still talking about Destiny and Deoxys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there was such a thing. Unless, granted, it's been like forever since I've seen that movie, so I could be blanking.
Yeah, I don't have high hopes for.
Was that the same movie where Ash is gonna punch someone?
Yep, that's the same movie where Ash is about to throw hands on prototype lady.
Yeah, like
Ash was such.
I don't know what
Ash is such a different person in those movies.
Oh, yeah.
And in AG, to be honest.
Palkia,
Yeah, like if
Palkia, you son of a bitch.
Okay, but that
you
was
son of a
fan
bitch!
subs. Okay, but that was fan subs, but still, yeah. We still called him an idiot, I guess.
I mean,
It's
either
much
way.
more. It's much more funnier in fan subs, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Polkia.
I think if this was OS Ash being in this movie, he would have like beaten the crap out of him.
Oh,
Oh,
hell
he
yeah.
absolutely would.
Like,
And then he would be like, "Kiss my ash, motherfucker! I'm Ash Ketchum."
like there are scenes in AG where Ash just wrestles with a Breloom and a Lucario, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that's in
the
the
Lucario
Lucario
I do
movie where
remember.
he's-
Yeah, that's in a Lucario, right? Yeah, Ash is insane.
What kind of drugs did he take in this
He
fucking
was just
series,
built
man?
different.
It's
Like-
so funny to look back at it because now Ash is all just so humble and level-headed now.
Yeah, like I'm always wondering, like, was this really the same Ash I'm looking at right now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
Oh yeah,
is this,
'cause
is
yeah,
this really the same? I know, right?
like AG Ash was so impatient that
Yeah,
It makes me
That-
wonder what kind of drugs
when
did he?
Broly went, hey, there's
I remember that.
yeah, Broly went, hey, today is like a big wave day. We don't get these often. I want to go surf. And then Ash should just kept following him and like jumping into the water, going,
Yes, I
"Hey,
remember
thank you."
that.
And
He
then
was just like, I know, I want my battle, bro.
yeah, and like, until eventually Broly would just like, Jesus Christ, okay, and then after that kick.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
And then Ash got his ass kicked and did a whole like multi-episode training arc in which he caught Corvus.
That was great because Corfish is baby.
Yes, Corvus is baby.
Okay.
That was like so funny.
Yeah.
That sounds so ridiculous. But in a good way.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
But
why.
yeah.
That's why. That's why Ash learning that perfect lesson from Drake about not being cocky and learning
That's-
to take things slow was very important.
Yeah. And then
That's my
and then he
favorite
learned
thing.
again from Brandon.
Yeah. Drake and Brandon, he learned
And
the best from
then
them.
and then after beating Brandon, he learned that again from Gary.
I know, right? I was just gonna say that. That was so funny.
Yeah. I was like, Jesus Christ, it takes you 3 times to learn this shit.
Yeah.
The kid just would not listen.
To be fair, those were great lessons on Ash because he at
Yeah,
least learned something new there, unlike the way that modern Ash is trying to
yeah,
represent
because
his learn.
like after AG, Ash stopped being cocky, and
Yeah.
after DP, where all lessons he learned were like related to Paul in some way.
I feel like after DP, he just became really relaxed, and especially in Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
That was the point of Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I know.
and
it worked so well.
Yeah, like
But then
character progression wise, like Ash's character between the seasons is actually it's actually a really nice progression because it goes
Yeah.
cause like black and white onwards because it's like black and white. It's like Ash loses in Unova, and he Ash does worse in Unova than he did in Sinnoh, and he's like, okay, fuck this, I need to become stronger. So and that's why he's focused on strength
Yeah.
and constantly become focusing on that. And then Sun and Moon, he learned to relax, and
Which
then
which ended up working a lot for him.
yeah,
yeah.
and then Journeys, it's like the combination of all these lessons into one, and he's like the most mature and stuff he's ever been most of the time.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, there's always like a few outlier. There's always like a few outlier episodes in every season.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Where Ash feels completely different. But most of the time in Journeys, he's pretty great.
I'd say so.
And so I'd say like I'd say like the end of Black and White onwards, there's like a really consistent character progression for Ash.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
and then of course there's also like the really consistent character progression from AG to DP too.
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree.
But like early Black and White sort of put a stop to that, which is why it's like late Black and White onwards.
I will say
Yeah.
I like the character progression, but I really like Ash's personality from OS and AG because
Oh, no, so did
they
I.
were so
Like this.
funny. It
Yeah,
was so
Yeah.
entertaining to watch.
yeah,
Like you
Like-
have all of these moments where Ash is arguing with Misty, or you have all of these moments where Ash is impatient in AG, and it's funny, but it's also very good in an entertaining way.
Yeah. And yeah,
It
for
feels
me,
like Ash
OS,
has more personality too.
yeah, from OS to DP, like that to me is like the consistential peak of Ash. Well, personality wise,
Yeah.
and what else there's to say about? But yeah, it's that's what made like Ash so much more like better for me. It's just the way he gets in certain situations and then just act on impulse.
Yeah,
Like-
definitely.
Like
yeah.
once once again, like throwing hands on a fucking prelude. and then have Brock of all people like go stop him. I will always find that scene hilarious.
It was hilarious.
I
Or
like
just him, just Goomba jumping on Team Rocket's balloon.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What the actual heck?
Yeah, OS was hilarious because out of like Ash, Misty, and Brock, none of them were actually like the mature one because even Brock tried to like punch Damien that one time.
Wait, what? I don't remember that.
what?
Right, so Damien, he was the guy that left Ash's Charmander in the rain.
I know who Damien is, but
Yeah.
I don't remember Brock punching him. What?
Brock did not punch him, but he
I
did,
tried to punch him.
but he did grab him by the shirt.
Oh my god, that reminds me of that scene where Flint grabs Volkner by his shirt.
Oh yeah.
They're gay anyway.
Yes, they are.
You mean Ronald McDonald grabbing onto what's his name
Minato?
again?
Minato?
Is that the guy from Naruto?
Yeah. I think it's his dad.
Yeah,
Oh.
that Naruto's dad. He looks exactly like Volkner. It's weird.
He does.
Okay, well, Volkner's better anyway. We stand
cameo.
Ronald
They cameoed today, which was awesome.
Hooray,
Yeah,
we stand Ronald McDonald and his bestie Minato-chan.
You mispronounced boyfriend.
There you go.
Oh. Okay.
Wow. Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, that one was pretty good.
Brock almost basically punched or basically beat the shit out of him, and Nurse Joy intervened before they did that.
My God, same scene.
Oh my god, look at Ash in the back.
Oh.
He's like, what the hell is going on?
He's like, oh shit, they're about to kiss. Oh my god.
Oh, we didn't add Dawn's and Brock's reaction. 0 out of 10.
No, but I
Yeah.
love the fact that we finally saw them together because they put episodes where they were separate for some reason.
Oh
And
yeah, they did cameo today.
yeah.
Yeah,
I did see the cameo from today's Jane episode. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. We got best rival trip. I mean, yeah.
It was so funny though because all the black and white like rivals appeared apart from
Cameron.
Cameron. And Burgundy, I guess, but she's like a very silent focused character, so I don't think she counts. But yeah,
But
Um,
no
It's
silent.
weird that Silent did not cameo though.
yeah, it was really weird. Like
No.
What the What the hell?
You're welcome.
Why does that work so well?
My God.
The face.
Oh my God.
Oh my god! I did not expect everyone to laugh so hard at
Oh
this.
my god!
Uh,
Like, I was only laughing as much as I was because the rest of you guys were laughing.
I think what got me was the face because it fits so well with the text. No boonies.
oh, booties.
Holy crap.
I feel like he would say that though.
That's so in character.
Oh,
That got me so
Oh.
off
Oh my
guard.
god. I was not expecting that.
So yeah, like
Christ.
yeah, all the black and white rivals got to appear apart from Cameron.
Well, I guess you could
Yeah,
say
that
that
was-
sent us. I guess you could say that sent us through a trip.
Oh my god.
God.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Anyway, who's Cameron?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I don't know why I said that.
Who?
Yeah,
I only know Cylon.
so true.
Yeah.
But we got Reggie and Paul.
Oh yeah, Reggie also appeared today too.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. Weird how we got no Barry, but whatever.
I'm predicting Barry will be saved for Ash versus Cynthia.
I
Please.
hope
I
so.
need Barry. It's been
I
so
hope
long.
so.
This is my only hope. Ugh.
I agree.
If Bianca can make it,
Just
so
watch.
can Barry.
Just watch. I'll only be like Nando and Kenny.
Not Kenny.
That wouldn't make sense
Wait,
though.
Okay, but
Barry's gonna find the animators.
yes, he should.
Somebody out there's gonna
Okay.
get fined like they've never been fined before.
Barry, relax.
Okay, but it would be great if Barry was also seen with Palmer.
Yes.
Okay, that's like the
Oh,
most
yeah.
ideal situation actually.
Yeah, 'cause we got Reggie and Paul. So why not?
And we got Vulcanurus with Flint.
Yeah. I want Nando, Conway, Zoe.
Oh
Um,
god, I forgot Conway. God.
I wouldn't mind Conway.
I don't mind him either.
Yeah, or not,
Yeah.
or no, I would like Conway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
he was-
Conway. Yeah, Conway. Yeah, it was so weird when Conway like appeared in the league because because beforehand he'd been like a very Dawn-centric character who just sort of appeared to annoy Dawn, and then he just in the league, and then he just in the league, and I'm like, wait, what?
You know what's funny?
You were doing that the whole time?
You know what's funny? Conway only appeared in arcs. Like
Yeah.
he was in the Hard Home arc, he was in the summer camp arc, and then
Yeah.
the league.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like we never really got to know he was doing like the gym challenge until the league,
True.
and it was so weird.
But hey, I mean, at least we got a good battle between him and Ash.
Oh, definitely,
agree.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That
Yeah.
was top tier.
Yeah. I distinctly remember the first time I watched that episode. Like, Kid Me was like really worried because he was spying on Ash.
Oh
and-
yes,
and, like,
I
knew
think
his-
I remember
Oh,
you
yeah.
saying that.
Yeah. And then, like, Ash just pulled out, like, Noctowl, and I was like, wait, what?
Wait, there was like
I
one scene where he was in his pajamas, like standing in front of like Ash and his gang, and then I think Dawn like threw her pillow
Oh
at him.
yes, that was during the
was the
summer
summer
camp
camp
arc,
arc,
I
right?
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the one.
Oh yeah, they were Dawn and everyone were like in their rooms, and then they were like, and then Dawn was like, "Hey, we should play some cards," and then Conway was out the door, and he was like, "Oh, I'd love to play with Dawn." I'm like, "Bruh."
And Dawn is like, get the fuck out of here, throws a pillow at him.
It's so funny how they made characters like Kenny and Conway both sim for Dawn.
It was so weird.
Well-
like,
You're so weird.
Especially
Conway,
in the case
like,
of Conway.
Rockledge, right? Like, yeah,
Well,
like,
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 well, here's the
like-
thing.
Conway is like at most Brock's age, right? And like, and at least like, I don't know, he's Brock's age, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
it's
you-
weird.
Yeah.
Kenny's at least 10,
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
but that doesn't stop Conway being. But of course that doesn't stop Conway being fucking hilarious.
No.
I
At least
I'm mixed about it because like it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it
it
is
gets-
is,
creepy.
but
It
like,
gets-
it is
It gets creepier the more Conway appears because in the Hard Home tag battle, I don't think it was that creepy. It was
No,
just,
in the Harhorn tag battle, he was just weird.
yeah, he was just weird.
Yeah.
And then the more Conway appeared in more episodes, it got more creepy.
Yeah, I know,
it was the
right?
summer camp park that really was
Yeah.
like where he was really creepy. Because in the league, it was just more. He was just an opponent for Ash, but like,
Yeah.
but in the summer camp park, he was just really creepy towards
Yeah, he
Dawn,
was.
and you're just like to the point where like even like Ted and me was just like, this is weird.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
weird.
funny. Like I was laughing because it was funny, but it was still weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel the
it's
same
like
way.
it's creepily hilarious to me.
Exactly. Yeah. Like,
That he seems.
that's the perfect exception. You know.
Yeah, the way that he sims for Dog on like Queen Jenny, like it is creepy, but at least it's creepily hilarious. Unlike what they did with Kenny, which is just typical sim.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yes.
like
Kenny is like the typical definition of r/nice guys.
yeah,
Dawn.
yeah, and I and yeah, because like before that one episode, like his crush on Dom was just like, oh, it's like before that one episode, it was just like, oh, he had like this innocent crush on Dawn. Then that one episode happened, and you're just like, and it just, and it just like we can contextualize all that behavior and makes it so much more creepy. And you're just like,
Yeah.
ah. And then also like,
You know, before the
Rock-
episode, Kenny
Yeah,
was alright, to be honest. Like, he
yeah,
was just forgettable and
yeah,
boring.
like like
gonna
he
have to
teased,
disagree with
yeah,
that.
yeah, like he teased on a like he teased on a lot to the point where like she obviously like felt very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable about it. But at the same time, you're just like they're 10, so like they're not like so they're not really gonna know what to do. But then that when it would happen, and it's just like, oh no, this is like a much deeper problem.
Yeah, and then there's that scene with Brock helping
God,
Kenny to confess.
And then
God.
like after like Kenny like goes, I will battle you for Dawn, Ash. Brock is like, hell yeah, Kenny, that's the thing to do. And I'm like, who are
Oh my
you?
God.
That's not Brock.
Brock, what the
OC
fuck?
Brock. What the hell?
Like I know Brock had issues with boundaries, but I know he would not do that.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
God.
so funny because like Dawn is just minding her own business and she's just interacting with Ash as usual.
Brock,
And then
Dawn
and
has
then
no idea what. Dawn has no idea what's going on
Yeah.
until she gets that later at the end.
Yeah, and then Kenny's like, "Oh, you basically have to choose between me and or Ash," and I'm like,
Uh,
Bro.
yeah, like there's no
Yeah.
need to put Dawn in that
Yeah.
situation."
Okay, but to be quite honestly, like before like this episode, I kind of dislike Kenny a lot because of
I don't
the way
blame
he
you.
acts. But
Yeah,
this episode was portrayed in a way that really made me hate him. Almost to the point that
Yeah.
I just want to say he's honestly my least favorite character of all
Damn.
time.
damn.
wow.
Well, my least favorite goes to Toby Chas, but that's very fair.
Yes.
I
I mean,
mean,
he's not a
bitch
character.
ass is
He's not a character. He's a plot device to make us lose.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he's boring. He's boring as
Yeah,
shit.
like yeah,
I'll
like,
take-
cause like, yeah, because like Richie,
Yeah, like,
Harrison,
even those
Tyson,
they
at
all
least-
had
at least
they
the
all had
characters.
personality, right?
Yeah,
They were fun at least. Even Cameron is fun.
yeah, I agree.
uh,
Well,
Like
almost.
he's
When
he's
he's not being
dumb.
stupid.
he's better than Tobias, but that's
he's
not much.
dumb. He's dumb, but at least he has personality, right? Like
Yeah, he has
Yeah,
personality.
I
Yeah,
do agree about that.
Tobias has none. None.
no, his personality is just, you know, I can't even describe it in
Exactly,
one
you
word.
can't.
It's not. Yeah.
You can't.
Like, that is kind of true. Like, at least with Kenny, you can describe him as the
Like,
most
what are you gonna
annoying.
describe with told bitch ass? Like, oh, he's that one guy with the
The
Yeah,
best way
yeah,
I can
like-
describe him is the
yeah,
fact that
like-
he's a dumb plot device.
Yeah.
The trash roost.
Yeah, like,
Which
like,
makes it even worse, actually.
yeah, like, it's just annoying because, like, yeah,
But I will say, like, before that Kenny episode, like, I wouldn't say I disliked him. I just felt like he was unnecessary and kind of forgettable.
he was, yeah, like he was a good opponent for like for Dawn's like first contest, like,
Yeah.
or first contest win, I guess. But but they didn't need to bring him back.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
can't-
in a way, I kind of
I
blame
can't-
him for the average.
I can't think of anything
release.
else that Kenny did, to be honest. Like,
Uh,
anything
Well,
noteworthy.
there was that episode.
The only
Yeah.
the only other thing of note that Kenny did during his entire time on the show was beat Dawn in the last contest that I'm mad.
Yeah, that one. Well,
And then
Yeah.
then he quote unquote helped Ash master Turtwig energy ball.
I forgot about that too.
Fun, I guess. Still doesn't
Okay, but-
excuse my.
Okay, but that moment was actually good.
Yeah, to be fair, it kind of was, but like that's mostly on
Also-
Ash's end.
I also like that Ash, like, battles, like, his companions, rivals, like Kenny and Zoe. Like, he battled
Yeah.
Zoe in the contest.
Yeah,
Like he battled Drew as well in AG,
Yeah.
and then and Drew like beat Taylor's ass, but
what is it
No, but
with
I
Ash
like-
using-
I like those battles because it's not always just Ash battling his main rivals.
yeah,
Yeah, makes
And
him
it's more interesting that way too.
I
it is,
agree.
yeah,
makes him spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. God, why did they do that to Kenny? Like, I don't get it. Like he wasn't great before that one episode, but he wasn't awful.
No, he wasn't.
Like some of the stuff he did was really, really bad. Like, you know, constantly calling Don Didi, which just seemed like like a nickname at first. But then later on they're like, oh no, like she had like plus 11 million trauma, and that's why he called her that. I'm just sitting there like, you mean that nickname reminds her of her trauma, and he
So
still called her
weird.
that. Yeah,
So, it's funny because Leona also did it too.
yeah,
Which is,
Yeah.
and she was there during the flashback, so it's like,
Yeah, like-
why? It's like, why?
What the
like
hell?
both Kenny and her were, and you're sitting here like,
Like, why? Like, the main reason why I think Kenny did it so often was just because they wanted this, I guess, Kenny to do some playful teasing, but the more he does it, it doesn't come off that way.
Yeah.
yeah, like in his first episode, it does just come across as that. But then the more about his past with Dawn they reveal, the more it becomes weirder.
Yeah. Like, I
And
will say the
then
only funny moment with the whole DD thing was like in the one you mentioned where Kenny is basically telling Ash and Brock about their childhood
Yeah,
together. Because that was kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to give an exception to that one because yeah, that was kind of
And then
funny.
you see all these visuals with Dawn and her haircut with Chimchar.
Yeah,
She's like screaming her hearts out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of cringe, to be honest, but I'm not gonna lie, I did chuckle a little bit.
Then again, it makes you wonder was she still friends with Kenny?
Seriously, that's
Because they're
like
fucking
it seems
No,
like
he was kind of a low key jerk to her.
I
Like it
mean-
seems like
I mean,
Kenny
and
was
that
more
first-
for. It seems like Kenny just cared more about Dawn than Dawn did for Kenny.
You know,
Quote unquote.
Dawn and
care.
Kenny, alright, Dawn and Kenny, are like, or Kenny is like that one kid, who's like who's the kid of your mum's friend, so you're forced to hang out.
What?
But you don't, really like each other. But because your mums are friends, they just force you to be friends, and it's just
It's kind of funny
it's
that
really weird.
It's kind of funny that they portrayed Ash and Dawn to have a better friendship in like the first 25 episodes of VP than Kenny and Dawn did.
Ironic.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
It really felt like Dawn did not want to see Kenny again when he appeared that first time, and then she was just like, "Oh shit, here we go again."
Yeah. Yeah.
It felt more like, "Oh shit, he's
Here. Oh
God.
boy.
No.
Him again.
It felt more like, "Oh shit, he still thinks we're friends." I guess I guess I'll play along to not hurt his feelings.
You should have hurt his feelings.
Oh no! Yeah.
You know what I don't get? Like, Dawn yelled so loudly at Paul when he didn't remember her name.
Yeah.
But she
Yeah.
never did that.
She
to
never
Kenny.
snapped at Kenny.
She never snapped. Also, I don't get. Also, to be honest, I don't get. The scene is funny, but I don't get why Dawn got mad at Paul, even though it is funny, because I don't think I don't think they ever
I don't get it
interacted
either.
before that moment.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
don't
like-
get it either.
It's like why? It's just like why would you get mad? It's not like you guys ever interacted, but it's still funny.
Yeah,
Whole pulling
Dawn never really
the-
gets that. Dawn never really gets angry for something so little beforehand or after that. It's weird.
I mean, she did kind of have a temper when she and Ash are interacting. Well, in episode 4, I think.
Yeah, but
Because
that
they
was like a different. Yeah, but that wasn't necessarily like.
Yeah, it wasn't like it's not like she had a temper, right?
No, that wasn't really something minor. That was just more Ash and Dawn not really knowing each other and getting on each other's nerves.
Yeah. But then it's so weird because you don't see Dawn having that temper ever again in the show.
Yeah, like not as something so so little as a guy who's never spoken a word to her, forgetting her name.
It's so ironic.
I'm not sure. We ever saw her name being told to Paul on screen.
No, you didn't because Paul would just interact with Ash even though the
Exactly.
entire group is there.
Yeah.
The only time Paul ever interacted with Dawn was during that maze episode and
also
before the
at
league
Sally.
started.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite moments between them.
Yeah.
For the league.
Yeah.
That one scene between Dawn and Paul at the league is the entire basis of a car shipping, and
So true though.
It's so funny seeing.
yeah,
You know why it's even funnier? Because you see Paul spying on Ash all the time, and then you finally have Dawn spying on him.
yeah,
I find it even more funny where Dawn asks Paul where Dawn asks Paul well, why did you have a girlfriend? And Paul's like, I don't know. And Dawn's like, oh, great.
Ash lived in Paul's head rent free.
I know, it was so funny.
It's so funny.
Yeah. To be
Makes you
fair,
wonder.
to be fair,
makes you
Paul also
wonder.
what it?
It makes you wonder why he in that like episode 3 where he's like standing there in a tree like waiting for him.
He watched Ash catch Starly, bro.
Yeah.
Or how about in a Goliath Score episode when he's like standing in the middle, what was it, in the middle of a tall building, just standing there looking.
And then there's also that moment where he watches Ash battle what was that Raichu trainer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking about I was thinking about that the other day. Where
That
he
was
just goes,
so random.
yeah, where he just appears and goes, "Hey," where he goes, "Hey, you'd have all Pikachu, bye," and then dips.
I don't like that he said that because Paul was always impressed with Pikachu. So that moment felt really forced, just to move the plot.
Yeah. Yet another reason why that was shit. I
like that episode.
I
actually.
hate it. I hate it so much.
Oh, Pika
Wait,
and Goliath.
wait, which
right.
what was that?
Wait,
Oh,
why?
the Goliath one.
Wait, why though? I thought it was one of the good episodes.
Is it because
Okay.
it was trying to be like?
I know it's a repeat of the OS episode, but I feel like it's done way better.
Yeah.
How would I
is
put
that
this? Pika versus Goliath traumatized me.
Oh, because of that scene in the hospital with Pikachu.
Yeah, where he flatlined. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
But,
no,
like,
okay.
like-
kid me hated that. Like, kid me was like very emotional when that happened, and I was like, and I never got over that.
Yeah, that scene admittedly is pretty kind of hard to watch though.
It is kind of hard to watch, but I feel like the episode is still great.
I haven't
I
seen
don't
it
like-
Yeah,
ever.
I actually
don't-
kind of liked that episode too. I thought it was even better than the
Yeah, I am just,
Lieutenant Surge one.
I just have this like deep-rooted hatred for that episode from childhood.
That's fair.
Understandable.
That's fair though.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that. I thought it was so random that Paul is just there for no reason at all.
Yeah. Also, I don't really. Also, like, Paul. I don't think Paul is the type to always evolve his Pokemon. Like, yes, he was always after strength, but at the same time, he was very obviously perfectly fine using stuff like Electabuzz and later on.
Yeah, I don't
And-
like that he said that you should evolve Pikachu because the whole reason why he battled Ash the first time was because of Pikachu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he saw Ash mention, "Oh, that's Pikachu's Volt Tackle," and he was like, "Oh, Volt Tackle, I better go battle it." So I don't know, man. It
Yeah.
felt very forced that he said, "Oh, you should evolve Pikachu."
But let's
Paul-
not forget
Paul is weird.
But let's not forget the most forced Paul appearance out of all of them. The end of episode 2.
Oh
How is
yeah,
that-
that one.
Wait,
That was-
then the one where he watches Ash catch Starly.
No, because like at the end of episode 2, he watches Ash catch Charlie, I think, and he just like I don't know what it is, but he said like the most evil thing ever, and it's like this. It's like he comes across as like a villain.
I think it's much less. I think it's much more a little bit better in the sub, because He says something. I don't know what he says in the dub. But I think
I
in
don't
his.
remember either.
But yeah, I remember watching that as a kid, and I don't know. Along with Don, like that ending got me hooked because I was like, okay, who is that kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
Can't forget the iconic scene where Paul is watching Ash train, and then Brock looks back and sees Paul hiding behind the bushes.
And,
No, but like,
and then don't forget that scene. Don't forget that scene where Paul is reading a book and he's drinking fucking orange juice. Never stay classic, Paul. Never change.
Oh, and also the Wallace Cup, of course. How did I forget?
What
Oh,
do you
yeah,
think he's doing?
That one is just iconic. I don't care what anyone says.
Funny.
But yeah,
This-
like Paul is obsessed with Ash.
Paul is a fucking weirdo, and that's why we love him.
And he's still obsessed because he still came back to his freaking hometown just to train Ash. Man.
And he's actually sitting down.
he actually sits in the grass and talks to
I
Ash.
don't know why, but everything Paul does that is so random it's just so funny to me. Like him, like once again, him just standing in like a random building and then just looks down, or him just standing in a tree like 20 minutes and then just says, "I'm waiting for him."
Well, if it was that, yeah,
Who needs that?
he says something different in the sub. I can't remember
Oh,
what it
okay.
is. I think he
Oh.
says, well, I can't remember what exactly he says, but it sounds better than this.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, don't forget.
Do I know you?
The disrespect.
Let's. Oh my god! Imagine having two battles with this guy and then meeting this guy again, and he's like, "Do I know you?"
yeah, like that would definitely a deliberate thing from Paul's thing. Could he just like, oh shit,
This-
this guy again.
This guy again.
No, but
My sugar, please.
Oh my god.
no, but it was but the Orbra or the Oberg Demeter was so funny because like that was the point where Ash sorry, where Paul was living in Ash's head rent free, but it wasn't the other way around yet. So
Yeah.
so just like Paul, so just like Ash being obsessed with Paul, and Paul just being very bored the entire time.
Oh my god.
I like that episode because it's like one of the first episodes ever where we see like a rival actually having an important battle on screen with someone else other than Ash.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
cool.
So true.
I thought that too.
Yeah, and then he wins, unlike Ash.
Yeah, like the whole reason Ash wanted him to stay was like, oh, you need to see me win now. But he doesn't.
No. He loses to
Yeah.
freaking Screech.
Yeah,
And Paul's
And
like, okay, we're done.
yeah, and then the next episode, Roach peppered Ash, and essentially just stop letting him live in your head rent free.
Oh.
And then Ash continued to let Paul live in his head rent free for the entire show.
You did not listen.
He did not know.
And then as DP slowly progresses, like then you see Paul having Ash in his head rent free too.
Like especially after he learns Ash beat Batman. Yes,
And
you beat it.
also, what? You beat it?
And then Paul was like, okay, now you have my interest back again.
Yeah. Be a portion, honey.
Did I say something?
No, you were saying something before we said what you beat it. So
I don't recall her saying anything.
I don't remember.
no,
I don't think I.
it was like you're in. It was like you're in like the middle of a sentence and then you stop to quote Paul. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I was gonna say anything.
I don't recall.
Oh well, all right.
Oh well.
Yeah, but it's so funny how even after DP, Ash still lives in Paul's head rent free.
Basically.
Right.
Because he went all the way to at Kanto to train him. Like, and like,
Yeah, it's like, oh, they're not friends, they're not enemies anymore, but still, he lives in Paul's head.
yeah. And it was just like Paul was like, oh, Okazdi as the leading person or Oak as the leading authority on Pokemon. Any good trainer should go see him. And then,
that was such an excuse.
it really was, yeah.
Yeah.
And then later, Oak's like, oh, he came because he'd been asked to be a gym leader. And I'm just sitting here like, why didn't he just go to Brandon then? Like why Oak? It was because Ash was there.
Yep.
Right.
They're boyfriends, anyway.
I mean, like, you know, Oak ships it because he's the one that called Ash there.
True
Yeah,
though.
True.
Okay. Well, getting back on track because I don't know how the hell we got there.
I don't know.
Because Paul is very funny.
Because I was just talking about the reruns of some movies
It's
coming to Japan,
unintentionally funny.
and then somehow we go from AG
Because-
and then we go to Paul.
Because I was talking about who should cameo in Ash vs. Cynthia.
That would make a lot more sense now. But
So
anyway,
yeah,
because
anyway,
yeah.
I want Nando, Conway, Zoe,
Barry.
Barry, yes, please.
Palmer.
Barry and Palmer. I don't know if Paul would cameo again.
I think
I want him to.
I think
I feel
Dawn.
like he has to. That's the thing.
I think Dawn's gonna be watching too.
I hope so because
I
they
feel like
haven't.
That's an easy.
I
They
pick.
haven't.
I feel like they might save the companions for after the Leon North thing.
Yeah, because like even today, like we didn't get a companion to cameo. Like Silent did not cameo for some
Yeah,
reason.
so like I do feel like if the companions do cameo, it'll be for after the Leon.
So that means
Yeah.
are we not getting May and Max for Ash versus Steven then?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
I
not
want-
entirely sure.
I want them so badly.
Yeah, like
As me
Right.
too.
But anyway, because there was one other thing about the movie reruns that I was gonna get before we went on that massive tangent.
Oh jeez, I thought you were done with it.
Oh no. I was about to get to that before you guys just went on that giant tangent.
oh
Because in addition to the movie reruns in Japan, Last Yes is gonna be distributed in Sword and Shield during the Heroes rerun. Jirachi is gonna be distributed during the Jirachi Wishmaker rerun. And Palkia will be distributed in Sword, and Dialga will be distributed in Shield during the Rise of Darkrai rerun, with World's Cat Pikachu being distributed across all of them.
okay, but that's confusing. Why didn't they do this for the other movies?
Well, it's because Heroes, Jirachi Wishmaker, and Rise of Darkrai are getting reruns, like I said.
Wait.
There was an online poll that people could vote in to choose which 3 movies will get a theatrical rerun in Japan.
Theatrical.
Yeah.
Shit. Heroes is my favorite Pokemon movie. I need to go see that in theaters. God damn it! But like, why don't live in Japan? Bring it to Scotland.
Not seen that movie since a long time ago.
I haven't. I saw it like 2 years ago.
Wow, I haven't seen it in like a decade.
I haven't
No.
seen Heroes in a good while. I think the last time I watched it was actually the Japanese version in subs.
It's so good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while either.
It's an amazing
Yeah.
movie.
That is amazing, Kyle.
Like, I think that's actually my sister's favorite Pokemon movie. Now I think about it,
Good.
and she's said multiple times that Latias is her favorite Pokemon.
So based.
Yes, very based.
Yes.
Like Heroes is the sole reason I love Latias.
I actually don't know why I love Latios anymore, even though it's my favorite legendary. It might be because of Heroes. I don't know.
Like it's so funny how Latios is like the more popular of the two. Yet he spends most of Heroes like captured and like barely on screen, and then he dies at the end.
Yeah.
Poor Latios, man.
Latios deserves better, to be honest.
And then
that's
to
saying a lot, 'cause-
bitch ass had to go get one.
Oh yeah.
It's sad considering that I actually like Latios more than Latias, and yet it got
I
even
like
worse
Latios
treatment.
more.
So
But
do I.
yeah.
I
have
love
a
them
hard-
both, but
I have a
I
hard time.
love them both, but I do think Latios is the more preferable one to me.
I mean, that's
But
fair.
I'd be lying if I said its treatment in the anime is one of the worst.
It's bizarre. But I will say,
Yeah.
I just love the bond that Ash and Latias have in Heroes. Like, Latias
Yeah, that was great.
Latias
Yeah.
in that movie was
Really-
adorable.
Yeah, it really was until the end. But we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about it.
Makes me kind
Um,
of sad that Ash didn't get the Latias.
Like, the
Yeah.
only reason why Ash never caught it because it was a movie.
Yeah.
Also,
That
because legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was considered quote unquote overpowered back then, but
Also,
that's irrelevant
again-
now that Ash has a fucking Melmetal.
Then again,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's got Melmetal and Naganadel.
Yes.
I don't think Naganadel counts just because Ultra Beasts are just like normal Pokemon from another world, so there's just like lots of them, and whereas legendaries there's like very few. I don't know.
yeah. Also,
Yeah.
there was that one special with Nurse Joy, and she randomly had a Latios
Oh yeah,
for
I
some
remember
reason.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of hated that episode, to be quite
Yeah.
honest.
I don't remember that.
That felt
episode,
so
actually.
random.
It's so random.
Yeah. I was
That's-
talking. Yeah, I was literally talking about that one not earlier. Okay, her whole job is to assess gym leaders, and she uses a Latias. How
that
how
make
is that
sense?
fair? How is that
Because
fair?
Latios is the best, guys.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Yeah.
belong to Nurse Joy, though.
Oh wow, there's a gift for it. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my fucking god, I can't with this episode. I mean, it was
So-
a
it's
good
so
special.
bizarre.
It was a good special for like Brock and his younger brother. But like Nurse Joy being added in there is like, I hate it.
Uh,
To be quite honestly, I think these specials were like hit and miss for me personally.
oh my god, you're so right.
Oh my god, that is precious.
Aw.
Aw.
Makes me more mad the fact that Ash didn't caught one.
I know. but
Like, if,
but
like,
at the same time,
if
like,
like,
all right,
you can go first, Laurie.
all right, okay, but like, I'm really conflicted about the hero movie, like the ending of it, because on one hand, or not on one hand, we barely knew the Latios in the movie, so it wasn't really like an emotional thing when it died, for me at least. But if Latias had died, I would have fucking bawled.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
same
Yeah,
here.
me too.
I feel
Yeah, me
like
too.
I feel like it would have been more of an impact if Latias had been one to sacrifice herself.
Yeah,
And
same. Because I like
but-
Latias a lot more.
Oh,
But at the same-
absolutely.
I'm with you on that one, to be honest.
like so on one hand I'm like I loved it. I loved it Latias and don't want anything to happen to it. But on the other hand, I'm like, but it dying would have made it a better movie. What?
No, right.
Oh god.
Uh,
Christ. But like,
oh yeah. Another thing that makes Pokemon Heroes great. Give me a second.
I will say though,
Um,
if this movie would have came out much later, like during the Sun and Moon era, Ash probably would have caught her.
Yeah.
and Sun and Moon definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine?
Anyway,
Could you imagine if Ash caught a Latias
I can
and
see
then
it
have
though.
it interact with it, and then have him like interact with like other of his legendaries, like Melmetal or even Naganadel.
I can see it happening
Yes,
though.
I
That's the
know.
thing.
yeah.
he'd be like, Hato bitch ass, I have a Latias of my own now.
But the thing is,
even-
even if Heroes wasn't a thing, I think this would still be a good fit for Ash.
It would.
I agree.
Yeah. Speaking of heroes, these are the hottest characters and
Exactly.
and you cannot change my mind.
I mean,
Okay, but
Are
you're
you
not
can I
wrong.
say?
cheating on?
though. They
Are you cheating? Are you cheating on Sato?
No, they are hot, but that's it. I'm not gonna.
I mean, she's not wrong though. They are absolute baddies.
Yeah,
Yes.
I barely even remember them, to quite honestly.
yeah. I need to watch this.
Even
movie.
if you don't remember them, they are hot. Look at them.
They are hot. they
Yeah,
are hot.
I'm not gonna lie, they are pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not simping though. That's the problem.
Ah, yeah, totally not tempting. Yes.
Sure.
I mean,
Also,
you blame
yeah,
you blame me,
um,
though.
Yeah. Also, fun fact. Also, fun fact. These two are the whole reason why I like Ariados, because
Oh.
Oh.
the one because they have an Ariados.
Didn't one of them have an Espion too?
Yes.
Was it? Yes. But like
Ah,
they're not a reason, but they're not a reason that I love Espeon. I just happen to love Espeon, and the fact that they have one makes me even hotter.
so true.
Daddy Juan.
Yes, he is ultra hot. Yes.
Look at him.
I do simp for that in Juron though, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Oh, we're really about to have Simfest 2.0.
No.
Well, with all that said, do we have anything else that we want to add before we close for this week?
Open
No.
Gangnam Style.
Jesus fucking
It's been
Christ.
10 years now.
Wait. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Oh my god.
No boonies.
Nope, he just something too.
Okay, but everyone else is simping. It's only fair for me to join in too.
Okay, fair. But still no boonies, Kyle.
That one was so funny.
Of course. Here we
Oh
go.
my god, it's Toodle.
Here we go.
Yes.
Oh boy. So is that all from you peeps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I think that is going to wrap up for this week then. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Hi, Sonia.
Hi.
That was fucking random.
Way to end the rest my outro right there, Lori. Oh boy.
Nice.
Alright. For realsies though, we're gonna get out of here. Mommy, Cynthia, sorry.
Don't forget about him. Don't forget about him. Don't forget about him. Yes.
And my baby. Nessa. Where is
Yes.
Nessa?
Oh my god. I'm never gonna do this outro, aren't I?
No.
No, sorry, Kyle. We got more important things to do. Oh my god. And
I can always step in and do the outro.
Never gonna give you up.
Oh
Never gonna let you
god,
down.
you did not just
never
rickroll.
gonna
We're gonna get out of here. I want to thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, through it all, we're still a family. One shitty family.